Albert Einstein once observed that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another.
Hi, and welcome to the Satori Show with your host, Amy Satori, your intuitive spiritual counselor. Amy's work centers around the energy that is in everything and everywhere. Her rare ability is to identify the energy from any source, and with the help of her guides on the other side, provides an incredibly accurate assessment of what's really going on. Albeit with people living or past, pets, the human body, and her specialty, twin flame relationships. And now we're proud to announce that the show is live at the Lighthouse Bookstore every Sunday night from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So you can talk to Amy and see for yourself just how special her abilities really are. Just call 256-291-1191. So now sit back and join me, Kevin McDonald, as we present this episode of The Satori Show.
And welcome to a very special episode of The Satori Show, everybody. I'm glad you're here because this is going to be a really, really fun hour, I can assure you. First of all, I'd like to introduce Amy Satori, the host of the show. Amy, how are you?
I am great. Thank you. I'm so happy to have our guest today.
Absolutely.
Our guest.
Our guests. And the first thing that I'd like to say is that in the last episode, we were talking about my contribution to this show. And my contribution started way back when in 2003, when I had the good fortune of working with Kristen Miller, who is with us on the line, and she worked with me on Positive Talk Radio. And I'd like to introduce her. She's got an incredible story to tell about her son, and we're going to get into all of that. But first of all, I'd like to introduce Kristen. How are you today? Thank you for being on the show.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, Amy. Thank you for having me on the show. I am well, and happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there.
Oh,
Yay,
thank you for
happy
saying.
Mother's Day to you, too.
Thank you.
Because you're quite a mom. I met your son when he was 3. He was adorable then. He is more adorable now. But the first thing I'd like to ask you, just for my selfish pleasure, can you give me your assessment of what it was like to be part of Positive Talk Radio and how much you enjoyed it, if you did, and all of that?
I absolutely did. First of all, working with you, Kevin, was amazing. It was one of those times in my life that I look back on and I smile. And although I was a much younger version of who I am now, I loved and respected that time and grew so much and learned so much about myself, about other people, and I always smile when I think about that.
Well, I appreciate that because that was a very special time for me too, and unfortunately it ended. But that ended so this could begin, and that's very, very important.
Right.
Now, I would like to, the last time I saw this young man, he was 3 years old, and he's now a strapping young man of 18. Tell us a little bit about your son, Jordan.
Jordan he's an incredible human being. He's always been very outgoing and friendly and always talked very well with adults. And for the first 7 years, it was just Jordan and myself and my mom and my sister, and he spent most of his time around adults, so adapted very well. And as he's grown up and become the young man that he is, he has stayed very true to who he is. His heart is very genuine. He's kind. He's motivated. He's persistent. He's loving. He doesn't take the garbage out without being asked. But other than that, he's an incredible human being.
Well,
Jordan.
First of all, Jordan Davis Miller, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am good. Thank you very much. And thank you, Mother, for calling me out on this podcast.
Anytime, Jay.
So now the first thing that I'd like to ask you is, and this became actually a news story up here in the Northwest. I'd like you to tell me the story of Homecoming King.
Okay. Man. There was
You're going to make
a
him
lot
tell
of,
that story? Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Did you make him tell that story? No, that's fine. Go ahead.
So at school, I'm in leadership, which runs most of pretty much all our events for the school, and especially the main ones like homecoming, prom, the spirit assemblies, stuff like that. And we had done it. We had done our election process, or like to choose kids very differently. And I was fortunate enough to get chosen out of my theater group, I believe, because we had it done by like groups. So we had football players. We had, I believe it was girls tennis at the time. So we had girls tennis, or no, it was boys tennis. But you understand, clubs, we would choose like one or two people from that. So I got chosen from that. So I was very excited. It's my senior year. I'm on homecoming court. I'm with some amazing people that go to my school that I get to see every day and work with every day. And I was very excited, and there's this one kid, his name's Kobe. And I hadn't had a lot of interaction with him before, but my previous year, junior year, I had recently gone into their classrooms and, interacted with them because, those kids don't necessarily get the interactions that they deserve, really, because everyone's so in their own head and moving at their own pace that nobody really stops and people watch really. So I did my people watching, and I decided that I would go help out in the and I forget the better terminology because there is one, but like the special needs class. And I'd go see those kids, and I'd hang out with them, and I'd talk to them, and we'd do puzzles and watch movies and have dance parties, all that stuff. So there were a lot of great kids. But I hadn't met Kobe my junior year, but I had seen him around the halls. I'd said, "Hey, how you doing, bud?" As I'm passing by and to get to my next class. So I had found out that he was on homecoming court, and the week leading up to the assembly for that, I talked to him because we had to like run practices and interact with each other. So I talked to him a lot, and I gravitated towards him a lot because, I want to get to know this kid. He's obviously an amazing kid. He's on homecoming court, so I want to know this kid. I want to know his story. I want to know what he's like. We bonded over Star Wars and Avengers and all that stuff. He's just this absolutely wonderful kid, just normal kid. He's in a wheelchair. He's this normal kid. And he struggles with speaking, but he does, and he actually, I don't know whoever's listening right now, Iron Man, he has a computer system called Jarvis. So what Kobe did is that he has like a speaking device to help him speak, and he named that Jarvis. So I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was absolutely hilarious, extremely clever. So he would use Jarvis, and we'd have conversations back and forth. And I had to adjust to that because the conversations would go very slowly. But I really got to know him. So coming to homecoming, there was a lot of talk about who's homecoming king, who's homecoming queen. And I didn't really pay a lot of mind to it. A lot of people were saying, oh, Kobe's going to get it. And then other people were saying, no, Jordan's definitely getting it because I'm very active in my community. And I didn't pay very much mind to it because win or lose, it's just I'm happy to be with these people. So come fast forward to that moment, I had won, and I was actually very surprised. I was very surprised, and it didn't feel right. Really, that's just it. It didn't feel right because Kobe, he's up here and he's enjoying this, and I already have enough recognition in my school. I'm already outgoing enough to speak to everybody and reach everybody and have conversations with everybody. And I just felt that, I appreciate that the love all my classmates have for me, but it's like I got to keep my trend. It didn't feel right to just take it. I got to keep my trend. So I felt it was very right to. I promise you, everything went extremely fast. Our assembly went so fast that I wasn't able to do it right on the spot. But as the assembly was closing, I went over to Kobe. I put the cape and the crown on him, and I said, "Listen, Kobe, you're an absolutely amazing kid, and I'm so proud to say that I can be one of your friends, and I'm so proud that I got to spend the time to know you and conversate with you and learn about what you like and what you dislike and the people around you. I met his mom at that assembly as well, and she's this wonderful lady. And it just that felt right. That felt good. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to be homecoming king. I didn't want to be homecoming king. I wanted to make someone else's day so special that they won't forget it. Because my whole high school career, I'm not going to forget that. But that moment right there for Kobe meant more to him than it could have to me, and that is what was important. So that with that said, I gave up my crown to Kobe, and I've never regretted it.
Wow.
Mom, you must be sitting there just beside yourself with pride.
I am, and something that I have to share with you that I found out later, it's amazing that Jordan, when he was little, he was in and out of Children's Hospital because he had asthma pretty bad. And he still battles asthma, but it's very well controlled. We learned afterward, and Jordan, jump in if I don't have it exactly correct. So Jordan and Kobe are the same age. That Kobe is in a wheelchair, doesn't speak, brain functions differently because he was also at Children's Hospital with asthma, and his life took a very different turn. Mm-hmm. So I looked at both of these boys, and I saw that my son is healthy, and he's able to do what he wishes to do, and he acknowledged Kobe, who is not different from Jordan at all. They just ended up having different outcomes of the same illness that they could have been in the hospital at the same time, for all we know, same age, going through at the same time. It spoke to me so much. I was so proud of Jordan. And for him to choose what he did without conversing with us as his parents or with anyone else, to just act on what he wanted to do, who could be prouder?
That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome, Jordan.
So, Jordan, I have a real quick question. I have a real quick question for you.
Okay.
Okay. You are a strapping young man. You are an actor. You won some awards. You've been to New York, and we're going to talk about all that in a little bit. But the question that I have for you is, every girl in your school wants to date you. Every guy wants to be you. How in the world do you have a heart?
Oh, no. Well, here's my real quick answer. My mother. No, you know what? Yeah. Scratch that. My family. My family. Best friends included. I would not be the person I am today, and mark my words, I would not be the person I am today without the people around me. I would not be. They have most certainly molded me into the person that I wanted to be. You know, they knew it before I knew it. I had the dreams, but I didn't know how to get there, you know. And these people around me, they were like walls, and they were keeping me from the bad and the tempting. And they were most certainly just like walls, and they kept me away from that. And if I wanted to lean a little bit out, they'd push me back in and say, "No, Jordan, this is what you got to do to get your dream. That is more important." And that's it.
Well, I've dominated this conversation way too much, but not only do you have friends on this side, Amy's about to tell you about the friends that you have on the other side. Amy, tell us about what happened. What has been happening to you since I mentioned that Jordan was going to be on the show.
Well, you mentioned his name and said, you know, you might want to Google him and just kind of check him out. So you can be Googled.
That's cool. Okay.
You're on there.
Oh, okay. Please continue.
So and what came up is your trip to New York and a little snippet of you singing this really cool song. And so I heard a bit of the song, and then I saw like there were like a couple of pictures, and I was trying to figure out whether to use one of those on Instagram and whatnot. But I don't want to. I don't like getting too much information before I do a reading, because do you know how when you talk to somebody, sometimes you'll say something and you'll forget that you said it, and so you won't say it the next time, or you might repeat it or something like that. I like it to just come through me fresh. And I also, it's like I've already been told too much information, but I got to tell you that, holy cow, as soon as I was tapping into you like that, it was like I was bombarded with all these spirits from the other side wanting to tell me all about you. I mean, they could not. I was like, you guys, stop it. I have to wait till Sunday. Just wait till Sunday. And they were like, but he's kind, he's compassionate, he's really sweet. And then they were showing me you and your mom, and it was like this really beautiful, authentic. I mean, your mother is so sincere, and she knows how to cut through this shit. That woman, she is like strong, and she is like. She knows how to cut to the chase. She has integrity and honor, and she is also just super straightforward. She reminds me a little bit about me sometimes, how I get this way, but she's kind of like a Mother Teresa type personality. But what's cool is she's totally got your back, and I feel like she like totally has as much as she's been shaping molding your career, like trying to make that work out for you. It's like at the same time, she's been cultivating your heart, opening your heart, helping you to follow your heart. It's like she's been your, I don't know, is it Geppetto in Pinocchio that was his conscience? Or okay. It's like yeah, I just feel that about her. She's almost been like a human spirit guide along your path, and she's taught you one of the most important things, which is to not listen to your ego and drop into your heart. That's one of the hardest things to cultivate and get through, because she's taught you, people pleasing is not going to work. You got to be your real authentic self, and you got to come from that place. So yes, I do agree with you. Your mother was behind a lot of this. And tapping into your family right now, I mean, you're right. I mean, is it, how many siblings do you have? Do you have a little sister?
I do.
Okay. What's her first name?
Ellie.
Well, what I love about her is she doesn't take, I said what I love about her is she doesn't take things too seriously. She makes you laugh like crazy. That's what she's been providing for you, is just this really light sense of humor, and she's almost kind of fairy-like in a way. And that's what she brings to that dynamic. Your dad also feels very centered and grounded within himself. He's very logical. So he I mean, he
definitely is.
Yeah, but he's also like, he's supportive in a different way. He really adds his, let's see, hang on. He's reminding me of somebody, I can't think of who that is. But he's more logical. He's not as heart-centered as your mom, but he's definitely believes in your mom and points to mom. It's like, see what she says, because he knows that she's got it going on there in that heart department thing.
Yeah,
so let me.
Very smart.
Yeah, well, let me tell you guys kind of what I do, and then you can ask me some questions, and then we can go from there. So, what I can talk to the higher selves of anybody that that's either alive or dead. So, like, I could talk to your dad right now. I could talk to your little sister. I could just see how they're doing. If you're wondering how your cousin's doing across the world and you haven't talked to your cousin in a long time, I could tell you, what they've been up to and if they're doing all right. or if they need help in some way. I can talk to things like fairies and leprechauns and unicorns. Yes, they do exist. I can even talk to the organs in your body and inanimate objects. I do qigong, so I do healings. I speak light language. That's also a form of healing. I can help you make decisions. If you are working, like I work with some other actors and singers and people who are in the entertainment business, and they will ask, or some athletes, and they will ask things like, what does my producer really think of me? How about the other members of the crew? And what can I do to work better with this one? This one kind of has an ego. How do I work around that? This one thinks they're in charge, but they're not. So how do I work with that? So basically, if there's a decision you need to make or somebody you need to work better with, I can definitely get information on that for you. And I speak to your spirit guides and mine, who are more than eager and excited to talk to you about all of this. So let me know any questions that you have. They have represented you to be somebody who is just all heart. And let me look into some like some deeper things that are going on here for just a moment. They won't tell me anything, or they will just tell me to be careful about anything that I say that might be kind of, like not taking the garbage out unless you're prompted kind of thing. So hang on just a minute. Let me tune into you here.
Okay.
Wow. Kevin, I think what we've got here is called a divine masculine. So, I mean, of course, that was going to be a given, right? I work twin flames a lot, and so you can listen to some of our other shows if you want to find out what that whole thing's about, because that's a whole can of worms we probably don't want to get into today. But just so you know, you are a divine masculine for sure. And the reason that I say that is, as I'm feeling into him, you guys, he is all heart. He is honorable. He has integrity. He does the right thing. He has had girls that he could have manipulated and taken advantage of, and he did not. He has done the right thing in terms of moral situations where he's hung out with guys that were being really ridiculous, and he got himself out of those situations. He does not hang around people who will he's been in some situations where the guys are kind of talking gossip and talking smack about people and kind of making fun, but he gets himself out of those situations, and he knows the people to gravitate toward that are more like him, and he's been doing that. So there have definitely been some learning curves, but man, you are all about it. You're all about the heart, and you are a good person. Let me see anything. Yeah. Now I'm going to look into your insecurities and fears for just a moment. I just want to see what's there, okay? Because I want to be really...
Okay.
Remember, his mom is listening.
Right, I know. I'm keeping a lot in mind here.
That's okay. I think I know what they are.
Okay.
Do you?
I think I do.
I'll tell you, Kristen is pretty smart cookie.
Okay, so one of the things he's working on, and I think this is perfect for him at this point in time, is you're coming into your own power. So you used to go to your mom and your family and friends and people you felt were like really you looked up to and respected. And what you're doing is you're creating your own, I don't know what you call it, like a theory or your own rules to play by. You're
what
creating
do we call
your
it at home, Jay?
What's that?
Jay, what do we call it? Like when I said you had to go get your own prescription, what are you doing on your own now?
Oh, I am adulting.
There we go.
Oh, you're shitting me. You are shitting me. Yeah, no, I feel that.
Yes.
No, he's got like.
That was funny.
Yeah, he's got his own like code he's developing almost, his own code of ethics, and he's cultivating that so that he doesn't rely on anybody else, and he has that within himself. And I think that that's exactly where you need to be right now. And good job, because you may have obviously you're going to have moments where you can't check in with other people. And as you get older, you're going to have to really learn to listen to your own intuition. You're going to have to listen to yourself, and you're going to have to learn not to worry about what anybody else thinks. And you're going to be like a master at that later. I feel you in the future being very strong and very respected, like even stronger. You think your mom is strong, you are going to be like, oh my gosh, people will even pay you to coach them. They're going to be like, how do you do it? Because you are going to be a very emotionally intelligent, strong individual. That it's like, you don't have to worry, Mom, don't have to worry about him changing, because there's no way the world is going to change this man. He has such a good core, and he is adamant about that. He knows the threat of that, and he knows that Hollywood or whatever is going to be sucking him into all kinds of things. I know when I got into modeling that I was invited to parties that had cocaine and sleep with this director or this producer to get the part and whatnot. And I don't see him taking part in any of that. In fact, I actually see him marrying somebody who's really real and kind of down home kind of gal. She's not going to be like another. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be anybody famous. I think he will be for sure, but I really don't. I see him going with someone she's quiet and she's real sweet, but she's also kind of tough. So, yeah, she's awesome. You're going to love her.
She's going to have to be a tough cookie.
Yeah, because he's really strong. But no, he's got a great head on his shoulders. Mm-hmm.
When we were in LA 3 weeks ago visiting his school, because he's going to school in Hollywood. I told Jordan, we were talking in passing, and I said, Jay, when you get here, people are going to want things from you. People are going to take advantage of you. You just have to know who's really being genuine, when to say no. And he's like, Mama, I know, I got this. So to hear you say that makes me feel so happy.
Yeah, no, he's got this.
Yeah.
He's got this.
In fact, Mom, don't think I'm not gonna call home every once in a while and be like, Mom, what the hell do I do?
And I hope you do every once in a while.
There will, yeah, especially the very start. I'll be like, I think I forgot how to work the microwave. Or something.
Gotta learn how to do your own laundry.
Yeah, yep. I've been adulting.
We have been working on his adulting while he's still got a safe place to land. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Go refill your prescription on your own. You got this.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yep. Yeah. That's perfect. You're doing a great job. So, do you happen to know of any of these opportunities that are coming to you so I can feel into them? I definitely, let me see here. Hang on. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely in the right place. And you're definitely going to go far. I mean, when I first started tapping into you, I got the word big. Like huge. That's a given. Mom, were you going to say something?
I feel like I have no doubt he's going to be huge and in such a gracious way, and he's going to create a platform for himself that he's able to reach people on a completely different level. And I just feel like I know he's going to have that stardom and status, but still be so down to earth. I have no doubt.
Yeah, and he's going to keep up with the community work, and I feel him working with kids really well. He's so good with kids. And I just feel like even, I mean, I see him signing autographs and being like, so like, he's not going to be one of those guys that get asked for his autograph and he acts really above you. He's just going to be like, yeah, I'll sign. Sure. Mm-hmm. You know, he's going to be like, he's not going to be a jerk. He'll be really down to earth.
I see that.
Yeah, no, he's not going to change.
That's the plan. And those people like that, I would hate to become like that, really.
Well, you'd be surprised. I mean, you're going to be tempted, though. I mean, I'm feeling that. I mean, you're definitely going to be tempted because these girls are going to be throwing themselves at you, and there are going to be people who make you feel pretty darn good about yourself, and so you really gotta ground on a regular basis. I would definitely meditate on a regular basis. I would keep your ego in check, and you could even adopt an attitude of whether things are really going tremendously well or terribly awful. You're like right in the middle, just neutral.
Even keel. Got it.
Yeah, like you know, like you could lose it all one day and you'll be happy as pie. And you could have it all one day and it could be gone the next. And like, so they say, you know, Kevin says I'm the best psychic in the world. Okay. The next day I might be the worst, whatever. You know, so don't let any of it matter. Don't let any of it puff you up, and don't let any of it drop you down. Just know that you are more the authentic beingness than you are this meat suit, this person. You know, you're not Jordan, you're the being underneath that supports his life and his animation. So
Jordan,
come from the heart. Go ahead, Kath.
Jordan, I just had a real quick question for you. When all these girls are throwing themselves at you, could you kind of look for their mother and see if one of them, maybe she's got some money, maybe she's good looking, and give them my number? That would be nice.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I've had moms tell me how much they love me too, which is pretty funny. And my mom hates
It's not funny. It's not funny. That's not funny.
It's very funny.
There was a certain mom. We were at Kohl's, and she knocked over mannequins just about to run to get to Jordan.
Oh my God!
My mom and I were with him, and we were looking at each other and looking at her like, Are you serious right now? Are you kidding me? There's been a couple of them that I have been like not too comfortable with them and my young son.
I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
A lot of people give their.
I think my mom's reactions are hilarious too. It's just the whole thing. It's very funny.
Now, well, of course, she's mom. She's a mama bear. She's going to scratch their eyes out if she gets half the chance.
She is a mama bear.
I know her. She's tough. Hey, but I wanted to ask you, and Amy, if you would do me a favor and to read into this, because in my youth, Jordan, I was an actor, and I saw when I saw your monologue that you did, and I saw a 18-year-old kid magically transform, and I believe that your gift to act that way, and it comes from spirit, it comes from the other side, because they are working together to give you that. So because you became real, that wasn't a part you were playing. You were that guy that you were doing it. Did you feel that when you were performing, and do you feel like you're getting help from the other side?
You know what? I believe the video that you had seen was, before I had gone to New York, and in those situations, I didn't know where I was going when I would get to a place like that. I just felt like this anger and this like worriedness about. I wouldn't say actually anger, but I would find that, and I would find like snippets, and I'd remember the feeling of how I felt in real life or that situation, and I would just find that, and I would channel it, and I would direct it in how I performed it. But when I was in New York, I had the amazing opportunity to work with Malik Yoba. He's an amazing actor. I loved working with him. He and I got together very well, and I think there was this one time I had gone over my monologue, and I've never felt that way before. I had never felt that way before, and I felt all the hate and the anger and the sadness and the fear, and then the all the twists and turns of like that dark stuff. It like all gathered together and divided itself out into how much of it in this is here and how much of that is into here, and it felt so real and genuine. And that's what's most important to me. Like when I act, the first question I ask anybody when I act is, did you believe me? You know, and it's not even just that, but as I ask them that question, I'm asking myself, did I believe myself? I ask myself that the second I get off stage, did I believe myself? And you know, that is what's really most important, is if you believe yourself when you perform that, then everybody else most certainly will. And you know, that's the most important thing. You know, I've heard it a lot, and I didn't understand it at the start, but I would be told, stop performing, because I'm a performer. That's what I love to do. I love to be able to pop and lock, and I want the people down, like, watching me to be like, wow, this guy's amazing. And, you know, I love that feeling where I get that awe and that big old eyes. You know, I love that because it means you're inspiring these people. But you know, when it comes to acting and theater, it's to stop performing. You know, you don't want to perform. You just want to be yourself. You want to be real. And I told Malik, I said, man, after I performed that, I felt so real and so in myself, because I found those feelings, and I was one with those right when I had performed it right then and there. And it's the most unbelievable feeling when I can get to that point.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, and we're all playing a role, and we can all jump into all these different roles. But he really gets in the role, and he is it. He convinces himself that's who he is, and I don't think. Because I can definitely feel like you're going to be, I think you're going to be on TV first. And I also see you putting out like some music albums. And for some reason, I don't know if this was in your history or it's coming for you, but something having to do with football. Have you ever been into football up until now?
Oh, I've played football. You know what? Part of adulting, my very first adulting decision was to not play football my senior year, which broke my heart, really, because I started my sophomore year. I worked very hard and connected with a lot of those people, and it was very tough for me to walk away from that, because I had recently gotten an injury. My junior year, I dislocated my elbow. And then in baseball season, I broke my nose, and I started
freshman year you got the very bad concussion.
It was not that bad.
Oh yes, it was.
No, it was not.
See how bad it was? You don't even remember.
Freshman year, no, I remember getting a concussion. I remember because I broke my ribs in that game too, and I played the rest of the game. I remember that.
He was getting, up until about a year ago, we thought that football was the path that he was heading. Yeah. And he was getting attention, and he was a starting varsity player since he was a sophomore. So up until about a year ago, that's kind of what we thought he would be doing. And then Jordan, learning how to be an adult, we were very proud of him, came to his dad and I and told us that he really feels like he was still having trouble with his memory since he got that concussion his freshman year. That was a bad one, bud. I mean, you were followed by concussion clinic. And that was probably his 5th or 6th concussion. So ultimately, he thought, his initial thought was, I don't know that I should be doing this to my body. And when he shared that information with his dad and I about he felt like he still had some memory loss and headaches, we kind of all jumped in and really thought about what he needed to do, talked to his coaches, and decided that he had way too much going for him to try to play football and risk whatever injuries might be coming his way. So it was a hard year. It was a very hard year, his senior year, not to see him play. But ultimately, that, he changed his path.
Yeah, well, I definitely feel like that was a good choice. But I think that he's also going to continue to have football in his life in some way. And it might even be in telling a story, like somehow that story is going to help some preteens or something. I see him talking to a group of younger people about his experiences with football and maybe using football as an analogy, kind of a parable for things in life. So it was a good experience for you to go through all that football stuff, because you're going to end up, using it as one of your tools in your tool bag as you go along. But I think it was definitely needed for you to drop that, to go into what you're going to go into. And I don't think you're going to regret it. Just appreciate it and love it for what it was, and dip into it when you need to help these kids eventually. Kevin, were you going to say something?
I was. Jordan, don't be a bit surprised, because when it happens, you can say you heard it here first. Be looking for a screenplay about a football player.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either yeah.
He's been, when he's had auditions, it seems like his physicality is always mentioned. The fact that he is built like an athlete, that every time that he's gone into an audition or met someone in the industry, they've always asked him, "You're an athlete. That is fantastic. You have great physicality." So I don't know what it is about that, but apparently you'll find out, J-Man.
Very cool.
So are there some upcoming opportunities you want me to feel into for you?
Yeah, actually, I got one today.
Okay.
Oh, that's a surprise.
You did? What a coincidence.
Yes, I told you about that earlier. So my best friend and I started our own business at the beginning of the senior year, and it's a DJ business. We call ourselves Jay-Z Entertainment. His name's Zarabrook Abraham. So it's me, Jordan, and Zarabrook Entertainment. And we got our own DJ equipment, and I had recently been working for someone else at the time, and unfortunately that didn't go very well with ending that job. And he just didn't believe that I had it in myself to start my own business. And
hey, Jordan, Jordan, let me interrupt you real quick. Is one of you in the wind?
That might be me. I have my fan on because I closed the window. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's getting a little hot in Seattle area, so we gotta keep it cool. But now it's off. No worries.
Okay. Oh, hey Jordan. By the way, just real quick here, I found out I read something real quick, and I was like, did I just read that you're from Everett? Because I'm from Marysville. I went to Marysville Pilchuck. Isn't that funny? We were rivals. Yeah.
You were. I DJ'd Marysville Pilchuck's prom last night.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. So we were like 20 minutes apart, 20 or 30 minutes apart.
Yeah, well,
so cool.
Yeah. When I was younger, I grew up in Seattle. Then we had moved to where was that house, Mom? It was like Mukilteo, Everett area.
Mukilteo, Everett, Linwood, that whole little area.
Then we moved to like Everett, Linwood area, and then now we're out in Marysville. But yes.
Lake Stevens, Marysville. Yeah.
Lake Stevens, Marysville.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are in Lake Stevens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is great.
I'll make a trip out there. I'll come see you guys.
You
Cool.
should. We'll have
Yeah.
you
I
over
will.
dinner. My husband's an amazing chef.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
that's awesome.
You ever
that'd
had
be great.
Jamaican food?
Ooh, yeah. I had it once or twice, and I loved it each time.
You
That'd be
haven't
great.
had my dad's Jamaican food, so.
Nice. All right. All right. All right. We
All
gotta
right,
do
guys.
it.
Can I get this back on
Okay.
track?
Oh, sorry.
And
Yeah.
Sorry.
George, continue your story. It's like old home week.
Oh no, you were talking about your DJ venture.
We did it. We have our own official business, and that's something I'm very proud of. And I done the prom last night, and then a friend of mine, she and a group of people I had met over the years from high school, like leadership conferences and stuff. They're amazingly talented people. And they had a group called the Archers. Unfortunately, everyone had to move. They graduated last year. But a couple of them have come back, and they're going to put on a performance on the 28th of this month. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And she texted me today, and she said, "Hey, we're not seeing eye to eye with our current DJ right now. Would you be up for DJing the concert?" And initially I said yes, of course, because I'm a man of opportunity. So if I get an opportunity, I'm going to take it, no matter how terrified I am of it. But I was
good for you.
Yeah,
keep that about you.
I will. Yeah. But I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely up for that. But I'm very nervous about that because it's totally, I like to have a good time, and people that have seen me DJ before know that they are guaranteed to have a good time with me and have good music. But DJing a concert is very differently. So, how do you think that will go?
Ooh, that's a great question. If everyone can just be silent for a moment, let me feel into this. Hang on. It's going to scare you. It's going to scare you at first. But when you get out there, just drop into that heart space, just drop down in your body, get really present in the moment, and you're going to knock their socks off. You're going to do an incredible job. I feel like, and your name is going to get out that way too. People are just going to absolutely love you. You know it. It's like, you're so funny because you know exactly what I'm talking about. I saw it in that song. You were about to sing that song, and then it's like you did the same thing I do when I grab the mic and I'm about to get on the show. It's like I just kind of drop down into myself. You're going to do the same thing. So just look at the fear, and when you're just about to do it, just feel the fear as excitement. Turn the energy into excitement. And also get out of yourself and almost be like an observer of yourself. Like sometimes if I get stressed out about something, I'll jump out of my body and I'll look at whoa, look at Amy go. Look at her stressing out right there. And I'll just be totally detached from myself, and I'll just be kind of looking and almost laughing from another angle at myself. So try to separate yourself out that way. Learn what it is to be in the moment and be the observer. And at that moment would be a key, watch the movie The Peaceful Warrior and figure out a way to just drop down into you already do a really great job of the dropping down into yourself thing. Do you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do. Yeah.
I saw you do it. Yeah. I saw you do. I really felt you do that. And that's exactly where you're going to go with this concert. So don't worry. Like you said, you're all about opportunity and jumping right into it. It's just what they're saying is it's prep and it's training for what you're coming into. So just take it as that too. This is just my training for when I'm out in front of, thousands of people. Because you're going to have a crowd of hundreds of thousands of people later. So this is just going to help you kind of, wet your tongue, I guess, in a way. Like, just get you used to it. It's baby steps. But it's a good big baby step for you.
Right.
I feel like it's going to go great. And there's some kind of connection you're making through this networking that you're going through, all these different people that you're meeting right now is going to have something to do with you making your albums later. It's a few tiers down. Keep meeting people in this circle of friends. It just feels like one of these people is going to introduce you to somebody who's going to be really instrumental in helping you put your album together, or albums. I think there are going to be at least 2.
Okay. Very cool.
And while we're talking about that and talking about this incredible young man, by the way, you're listening to the Satori Show, and you can go talk to Amy yourself at amysatori.com. But Krista told me a story that happened real recently that Amy doesn't know about yet. And do you remember, Krista, what I'm referring to? About when
not yet.
When Jordan got up and spoke?
Oh, yes. Yes. Do you want me to speak on that?
Please.
Come on, guys. The suspense is killing me. What is
Jordan,
this?
I think
it's killing
August.
me too. I don't know which one we're talking about.
The Peace Rally, Jay, NAACP Peace Rally, the end of last summer, after the horrible incident that happened in Charlottesville, and there was a local peace rally in Everett, and Jordan and myself and his dad, we've participated in a few of these. Like when Trayvon Martin died, we went to Seattle to kind of peacefully be there. When immigration stuff is so crazy and wrong, we go to support immigration rights. And so last summer, at the very end of summer, we went to Everett, out in front of the courthouse, and there was just a peace rally that the NAACP sponsored, and the woman that was emceeing the event, she opened up the mic to anyone that felt like they were compelled to speak. So I leaned over to Jordan, knowing that he's got so much to say, and he was probably thinking about it. And I said to him, "Jay, you should speak." And he goes, "You think so?" And I said, "Yes." So he got up and he went down and he got called up to speak, and he spoke for probably about 7 or 8 minutes, and he had everyone's undivided attention. He brought a group of people together and was so inspiring, the voice of the future. And so it was amazing. When he was finished, there wasn't, my eyes were not dry, and his dad's weren't either, but people were coming up to his dad and I, asking about where he's going to school, what is he going to be doing. I watched people approach Jordan afterwards, talk to him. The local newspaper came up and said, "Do we have permission to interview your son? Can we talk to your son?" And it was just like all of a sudden, the world opened up for him in that space, because he was incredible. He reached so many people.
He's going to get even better. Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. Because this is what happens. They tell me stuff and I forget about it. So, like, when I first got on with you guys, they showed me a rainbow over him, which means that he's being tremendously blessed right now. And I felt like the floodgates were opening for him. And even on my drive here, I felt all of a sudden this, like, tremendous attention. Like, I was like, whoa. And I looked up at the sky, and it was, like, really stormy. And I felt like all of this energy of all of these beings that aren't normally in my field. And I said, whoa, is this Jordan? Is this Jordan's crew? And they were like, yes. And I was like, whoa. It's like, he's got some really incredible beings backing him up, and a lot of them. very powerful. They are protecting you big time too, because you are going to make a big difference. But
that was going to be a question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, and then what happened was, Kevin, this kind of ties into what I told you earlier, is when I was about to pull into the parking garage, there was this really loud clap of thunder. It was like, ah! It was like so loud that I jumped, and I looked at everybody around on the streets, and everybody jumped. And we all looked at each other like, whoa. And I started to pull into the garage, and I got the word epic. And I thought, whoa, I just feel so little right now. This is so huge. So, yeah, I mean, I think the word epic was pertaining to a lot of different things going on right now, but especially Jordan, and especially with the rainbow. And, as much as I've been having to, hold everybody back, it's like the floodgates are opening for you big time. And you could learn to just meditate for 5 minutes every morning when you get up. Just kind of quiet your mind and ask Spirit or ask God, what would you like to tell me today? Anything I should know? And then just kind of sit quietly and then go about your day and just watch all the signs and synchronicities start happening, especially now that you know me. Oh, my gosh, prepare yourself. Some magic is really going to start happening for you now.
There's two people. There's two people I'm very curious about around Jordan, if I may.
Yes, please.
One of them, my grandma, passed away when he was 7 months old, and she was there the day he was born. She actually got to see him being born.
Aww.
And she went way too soon. She used to call him her little man. So is my grandma going to be, when I can't be there when he's in LA, she'll be there with him, right?
Yes. Yes. And she's tough too. She's a tough cookie too. She's really straightforward, and she would be whispering him bullshit if it was happening. So she will definitely be helping him stay on.
She was feisty.
Yeah. Yeah, she will definitely be pointing him in the right direction. And she also is telling me with her hands on her hips, if he starts messing around with the wrong girls or gets into the wrong crowd, he will be feeling her, judgment.
I can see that. I can totally see that.
She will be his conscience. She will, whack him over the head if she needs to.
She used to whack me in the head with a brush when she brushed my hair if I moved. So, yeah, I believe that. Yep. And the other person, Jordan, I don't know if you thought about this, but for some healing for Jordan had a friend that was taken out of this life. Was your sophomore year, Jay?
Yeah, Anthony.
And I know that that hit hard for him. And I would love for Jordan to have some closure on that.
Yeah, let me talk. Well, gosh, oh my gosh, you guys are so much alike, but different. Oh gosh, he was hilarious. Talk about authenticity, man. That guy, wow, that'd be tough being without him, I can imagine. Wow, he was your counterpart. He said that he'll be there with you to spot you at moments too, to help you relax when you're feeling kind of stressed out, because he had a really easygoing nature and didn't get too worked up about things. He kept a cool head, he said.
Yeah.
So he'll help you in moments like that when you need to kind of keep your cool. Also, sometimes if you need to lighten up, he'll make you laugh. He'll kind of joke around, kind of nudge you a little bit. Hey, lighten up, play right now. Don't take this too seriously. He's also saying something about how he's going to help you. I don't know if he was it seems to me he was good with paperwork or analyzing things or something. He had an analytical kind of mind. So he's going to take a look at when you go to sign contracts and stuff like that. He's going to be with you, helping you figure out what's a good deal or not, and whether you're making a mistake or not. He's going to help you with that aspect of things. he said saying something about you being on your game when you meet your girl. There's going to be something when you meet this girl in your future, you're going to be kind of shy. You're going to not know what to do with her in some way.
I'm going to be shy?
Like, yeah, like, but...
That'd be new.
No.
Well,
It does. It totally happens. When I meet someone, a girl that I do like, I do tend to get a little shy, which is funny. It's funny because everyone's like, Jordan's shy. That doesn't belong in the same sentence.
Well, and a twin flame will do that to you, too, if that's what we're dealing with, which we can look into another time. But, yeah, so he said that he's going to help you kind of put the moves on her or tell you how to approach her and what to say to her and stuff.
Okay.
Did you want to ask him anything specific? He's like, come on. You got me.
Just how he's doing. Really.
Oh, he said he's doing awesome. He's doing awesome. He's living it up, he says.
That's good. Yeah,
he's having a really good time. He can go anywhere, do anything. He's just having a really great time on the other side. He's like kind of partying it up, but in a wholesome kind of way, I guess.
That's good.
Yeah. He's a good guy, really good guy. He said he would have loved to have stayed with you and been a part of all of this because he can see into your future, too, and he says she's right about me. He's like, she's right about you, and I'm going to be there all along, and I'm going to be there right beside you. And he said, anytime you need to talk to me, then just talk to me. Just talk to me, and I'll come to you, and I'll be there.
Cool.
Yeah, he said,
cool.
no, he said, you don't need to miss me. I'm here. You don't need to miss me.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of times when you've actually felt kind of sad about him, and he's been like right there going, just talk to me. I'm right here.
Mhm. Well, it's been pretty rough because I know his girlfriend, and that the day when we found out, I actually went to her house, and it was because her and I had been friends for a long time, and that was really rough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me see if he has a message for her. Ooh, he's like taking his hand and like making a fist, and he's touching it to his heart, and he's getting like choked up.
Mm.
And he's saying he's going to look after her too. And he said that she's being ridiculous. Like she's like, I'll never love again. And he's like, yes, you will. Yes, you will, and I will see to it. Don't be stubborn, he's saying. So he wants her to find love again, and he's going to help that happen. And he wants her, he's also referencing something I said earlier. He's saying, tell her she's going to step into her power, but she has to get out of the icky feelings to do that. Like, she's got to stop feeling bad, and she's got to, like, okay. So I just got told to have her listen to a Muji video that's on my resources page. It's a Muji video called, I think it's called Nothing, or Death of Death, or Death After Death, or something like that. But anyway, it's in my resources page. And if you can grab that and send that to her, it'll help, because he's referencing it. It's like on the other side, they know everything. They see everything from up there. And so he knows what to point to and whatnot. And he's being like, have her watch that, because it's doing me no good, and it's doing her no good on her like life mission by staying in that place. He says, help her step into her power. Help her let me go, because that's where I can be with her best and help her the most. It's like he's showing me, like, she's on the ground on all fours, and he's like, lean down, grab her by, put your arm up under her arm and pull her up, and just be like, all right, let's go. This isn't going to stop us.
Okay.
He just showed me, like, he's like breathing breath under her wings, helping her fly. So he's going to be, it just makes me think of that song, The Wind Beneath My Wings. He'll be the wind beneath her wings.
Okay. That's good to know.
That song actually is giving me chills for some reason. He's like sending her that song. And another song is Everything I Do It For You, from that movie. Kevin, what was that one?
Brian Adams, Robin Hood.
From Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
So he's dedicating that to her, too. Yeah, he's giving her both those songs.
Okay.
He said, that's my girl.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, first of all, I don't know who said that you're 18, but that just can't be true.
Why is that? Why is that?
You're so mature.
18, Kevin. I was there.
Well, you were just mature beyond your years, and I just want to. We need to wrap up this podcast here in a second, but I just wanted to leave this with you. Jordan, your future is extraordinarily bright. You're going to touch people in ways that you have no idea what it's going to mean for them. It's a wonderful, exciting feeling, but it also comes with heavy responsibility. And I'm glad that you have a mom like you have and are as mature as you are, because as Amy's pointed out, you'll be able to handle all of that with flying colors, and you, my friend, can make a real difference in this world. And I hope that I'll be here to see it.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It has been wonderful to speak with you, Amy, and Kevin, to talk with you and explain myself, and thank you for being so great with my mom and working with her because she's fantastic. I already know that.
Thanks, bud.
But yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime.
Kristen, do you have anything you'd like to add before we wrap this up?
This is just the beginning, I feel like, and I would love to do this again, like in a year, in 2 years, to continue follow along with Jordan. But
that'd be great.
Feel like this is so great because I feel like this just breathes more of that positive air into his lungs, and that's what I want. He hears it from me all the time, how proud I am of him, and I'm sure that sometimes it's like he probably feels, you're my mom, you got to say that, but it just warms my heart when I hear from other people about his future, because I feel it in my gut, and I know he's going to get there, and I want him to really, in addition to wanting it so bad, I want him to believe it. And to see it.
He does. He knows.
That makes me so happy. What a gift today on Mother's Day.
Yay. And you know what, Kristen, as you're going along and you're going to be getting all these offers and things, but if there is ever a time when you feel like you don't know which way to go or who to trust in a particular situation, you can call me and we'll sort through it, because we want to make sure he stays on a good, positive path.
Thank you. I will definitely do that. My husband and I just had that conversation, even in small terms, about people on Facebook who have not reached out to us and then are requesting us. And I feel like part of it, is because they want to see what happens to Jordan and jump in now. And we had that conversation about in the future how that happens, and Jordan knows, and we've talked about his home base is his home base, his best friends who have been incredible, his family, and that's who we always come home to and stay very genuine and connected with. And we're very welcoming people. We welcome other people, but just knowing the good intentions.
Yeah. Hey, and Jordan, don't take any compliments and don't take any insults.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Just that thing of don't let the compliments get to your head and don't let the insults, don't take those personally. Everybody is just projecting anyway, whether they put you up on a pedestal like that lady, and whether they try to, people will try to manipulate you by complimenting you. They'll say you are the biggest, the hottest, most incredible thing on the planet just to get you to do what they want you to do. So don't be manipulated by compliments. Take a compliment like, well, glad you think so, but that's really about you and what you think of yourself. Everyone's just saying what they actually think of themselves at you, whether it's an insult or a compliment. So keep that in mind. And we can go into more of that later if you wanted to. But, so that way you stay right in the middle, whether they're really trying to talk you up or they're really trying to tear you down. Because you know that if they're trying to tear you down, that's how they actually feel about themselves. They're not actually talking to you either. Either way, don't take it personally, whether it's up or whether it's down. Just stay who you are, stay authentic. Your opinion of yourself and your thoughts that you're having about yourself are the most important thing. So keep your thoughts about yourself and your future positive. Don't believe any kind of egoic influence trying to tell you that you're not going to make it or that you're not good enough. Just keep your head on straight and believe in yourself, because you're really all you've got when it comes to the heart of the matter.
Got it.
Cool.
Is his little brother going to be okay when he moves out of home?
He's going to struggle for a little bit, but as Jordan starts really taking off and doing some incredible things, I feel like he'll be so excited for him that it'll make up for it. Yeah.
Okay, great.
He'll be fine. He'll probably be down for about 2-3 months. Not to worry though. He'll get back up again. And he's about to come into some things that he's going to be really good at too. So he'll start feeling good. His brother's confidence and his brother's excelling is going to help him feel more secure in himself even. So
good. Oh, thank you. I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And,
sure.
and Jordan, if I could just say one more thing before we go, and that is that and Kristen can attest to this. When I was doing Positive Talk Radio, there were I was on the air 2 hours a day, 5 days a week with Kristen, and she was helping me do that. And there were lots and lots and lots and lots of people that came out of the woodwork with their own agenda. Their own agenda that and Kristen, you remember this. They would say things that were either patently not false or patently false, or they were trying to get us to do something that they wanted for themselves, not for the good of the show and not for the good of the people with it. So just take care. You've got a really, really good, grounded group around you. Keep them. And keep them.
Yes, sir.
And keep them.
That will not be a problem.
Yeah, Kevin and I have been friends for 20 years, Jordan.
Really?
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah, when you got great people around you, it's hard to want to let them go, really. And it is about people change, and it's about how you deal with that. But the people around me now, I couldn't be any more grateful for. Really, they're fantastic, and I tell them that all the time. And I tell them that I appreciate just having them around, and helping, because it isn't easy. Helping me stay humble and staying true to who I am. So yeah, I totally will.
Awesome.
And with that, by the way, you're listening to the Satori Show. Go to www.amysatori.com and book a session with her. What you've just been listening to is very real. And I think Kristen and Jordan can both attest to the fact that she was right on in a lot of stuff, wasn't she, guys?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So with that, Amy, is there anything, last closing words you'd like to say?
Well, I guess just that your happiness is number one. I know the Divine Masculine really is concerned with making sure family and everybody is happy with the decisions that you make and whatnot, but ultimately, and I'm not going against your mom here because she's really out for your best interest. She really is. But when it comes down to making those decisions, like you were saying, like taking a big risk or a big leap of faith in your life, go with what makes your heart soar, what excites you, what truly feels like it could bring tears to your eyes or excites you to do. That's the most important thing to do, is what truly makes you happy, because that's your soul calling you into your purpose. So follow that no matter what. Good. See, she's such an awesome mom.
I do. I totally agree.
Yeah, follow your heart above all else, no matter how difficult it might seem. Do what your heart is calling you to do. What makes you happy.
And again, we'd like to thank Jordan Davis Miller. You're going to be hearing that name a lot in the future years. And Kristen Miller, thank you for being a great mom. You are.
Thanks,
and you've raised a great kid. And the two things that I like to say when I end this is, first of all, your heart is free. Have the courage to follow it. And forever trust in who you really are, and nothing else matters. We'll see you next time on The Satori Show. You've been listening to The Satori Show. Please visit Amy's website, www.amysatori.com, to find out more about this incredible talent. The views expressed during this podcast are those of the host, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of management or the owners of this podcast. What you need to know is that Amy is a wonderful teacher, guide, and communicator for the unseen world. What she does not pretend to be is a doctor, fortune teller, seer of world events, or predictor of what is to come. What Amy presents is real, based on her understanding of the world and communication with that unseen world. As always, you're free to decide for yourself as to what to believe. Regardless, we love and accept you completely just as you are. And thanks again for listening to The Satori Show.